Hello everybody, welcome back. So I've got a Valentine's makeup tutorial look in today's video, but this is a little bit different. This is a Valentine's makeup look for those people like myself who can't really wear pink, or you're a little bit kind of apprehensive or scared about pink, especially because a lot of these types of videos are obviously very pink heavy. So pink cheeks, I've got pink cheeks going on at the moment, my goodness. Pink cheeks, pink eyes, pink lips. It's a lot of pink. So I'm kind of coming at this from the angle of me myself. I can't really wear a lot of pink, so it's going to be more of like a toned down approach to a pink makeup look. And I'm also going to come at it from like a House of Colour perspective as well. So I recently got draped as an autumn in the House of Colour analysis system. So that means that I am warm, and my kind of words to look out for are things like earthy, vibrant, warm. So those Valentine's makeup looks where it's very much a cool baby pink or bright pink fuchsia makeup looks are definitely not going to be suiting me and my complexion. So this is going to be much more of a toned down, muted, warm, more wearable makeup look, hopefully. So as an autumn, we don't get many pinks within our colour spectrum. We have coral and we've got rosewood. Now coral, I feel personally is more appropriate for spring and summer. That's how I would wear coral. But then with rosewood, that's much more of our kind of softer, muted, earthy pink. So that's really kind of the type of shade I'm going to focus on in today's video. So I've done my skincare. My last step was my SPF, and I very much need to get some makeup on and try to kind of hide these pink cheeks that I've got going on. Zoom you in a little bit there. I'm going to start by priming my face with the Vive Skin Nova. I do not like the pump with this. I mean, look, I'm pumping this out. Where's my product? Come on. Yeah, not the best pump for this, but this is a beautiful primer. It's very hydrating, very nourishing. Doesn't seem like there's much kind of going on in the way of glitter. It tends to just be more of like a radiant effect. It feels actually quite nice and cooling on my cheeks. Putting some of Benefit 24-hour brow setter in my brows. This isn't very wet at all. I have to kind of scrape what's on the very top of the wand through my brows and then brush it through. So this should be an empty in my next project pan update, which will be exciting. I'm going to correct under my eyes with my Bobbi Brown stick corrector in Light Bisque. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is summer and winters who have more pinks in your colour spectrum. So winters have these bright, deep fuchsias, very vivid, contrasting colours. And I think summers you get more of those kind of like baby pinks. I think summers and winters are your cool seasons. So think of your cool tones of pink. And then with springs, I think you possibly get more coral variations. But yeah, for autumns, we are kind of limited. We get a lot of browns, so we are quite fortunate in that we can pull off a lot of brown makeup, very warm, earthy, chestnut tones, lots of bronze, gold, copper. But the pinks is really where we kind of fall down. So if you yourself are an autumn and you're a bit kind of bummed about not having many pinks in your colour spectrum, I feel you, I empathise. I'm putting some of NYX Micro Brow in the shade Taupe through my brows as well, and this should also be an empty in next month's project pan update as well. It doesn't take me long to get through these NYX Micro Brows. I've panned a couple of them in the past before, probably like 2 months, 3 months tops. They are quite an easy product for me to sort of hit pan on, which is surprising because my brows don't really need a lot of filling in. So if you've got very sparse brows, you'd probably get through one of these in like a month, which isn't good in terms of like plastic waste. Okay, so for foundation, I'm going to use my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation. A pump of this is enough. With my Yves Saint Laurent Touche Eclat foundation that I was working on in last month's project pan, a pump was too much, whereas with this one it's enough. So it really does depend sometimes on your foundation, whether you need a pump, less than a pump, more than a pump. And I definitely need to cover these red cheeks. I am on Skin and Me. I've been on it for about a week now, and I've got azelaic acid in it to tone down the redness. And it has seemed to be okay the past week. I haven't really noticed too much redness, but obviously on the day when I go to film, my cheeks are like bright red, which is great. But I guess it kind of helps to put this foundation to the test and see how effective it is at toning down the redness and colouring it. But this is a beautiful foundation. It's so luminous. It gives you such a healthy, radiant glow. It's not dewy. And I would probably say it's like medium coverage, but you can build up on it as well. And I prefer this one with a sponge. I did wear it with a brush yesterday and it just felt a little bit heavy. But with a damp beauty sponge, it's more of a seamless finish. And I'm gonna conceal with my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Madeline, or Madeline, however you want to say it. This is also in my project pan. Got great coverage this concealer has. I bought it in a mini just to try it. And I do think that this is one that I will, at some point, maybe not straight away, purchase in the full size. That's better. Some of that red has been toned down now. Okay, going to use some of my cream bronzer, my Revolution Ultra Creamy Bronzer in the shade Light. This is such a great bronzer. You don't need much of it at all. All I did was just dab my brush in once into the pan. And it's really easy to work with as well. So if you're a bit of a newbie to cream bronzers, this would be a good one to sort of start with. So whilst this kind of dries a little bit, I am going to jump to the lips. Now in makeup tutorials, lips tend to be the last part of the makeup routine, but sometimes, especially if you want the lips to be the focal point of your makeup look, it's a good idea to do them kind of near the beginning, or as near to the beginning as you possibly can, because the rest of the makeup is then dictated by the lips. So I know I want to wear a pink lipstick, so I'm going to put this on now, and then that will dictate how strong I want the blush to be and what exactly I want to do with my eyes. So I'm going to line my lips with the NYX Peekaboo Neutral Lip Liner, and then I'm going to use one of my House of Colour lipsticks. This is in the shade 491 Autumn Shimmer, and it looks quite kind of purpley in the bullet, but on the lips it's a really warm, rich, earthy pink. It's got a real lovely warmth to it, which as a warm season, that's what I need. So it's not going to be really cool and icy and bubblegum type of pink lipstick. It's going to be much more muted, but gives my complexion and my skin the warmth that it needs. And I'm going to do my little tip or trick with lip liner now, but I don't line the very outer corners of my lip line. So I still fill in the majority of my lips, but it's just I don't line the outer lip line in the very outer corners. I kind of like stop about there and there on my lips, and it just makes them look a little bit fuller. This is one of the tips that I did in my over 30s makeup video that I put out a couple of weeks ago, and I've stuck with this one ever since. I really do like this tip, and this lip liner is a really nice neutral warm shade as well, and it works really nicely with the lipstick that I'll pop on over the top. So this is 2 coats of the lipstick blotted with a tissue, so you can see that it's not this kind of like really icy pink, this really like super girly pink shade of lipstick. It's much more wearable, and it's got a lovely amount of like warmth and earthiness behind it. So I don't really have many like pink blushes. I do have a cream pink blusher from Stila, but I think that is going to lean too neutral in this makeup look. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my lipstick as a blusher. So I'm just going to kind of draw on some of this just up my cheekbone, and take that cream bronzer brush. And this is a really good tip as well if you're not sure what shade of blusher to wear with your lipstick. Just use your lipstick as a blusher. Now depending on the formulation, if it's a really matte lipstick it might not work as well, so you might need to mix it in with a little bit of concealer or a bit of like cream or liquid highlighter. But these are quite creamy lipsticks, so That does work quite well as a blusher. And same thing the other side. So I've decanted my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter in this little tub here, and I don't have much of it left. So just popping a little bit of this on the high points of my cheekbones. So I've finished all of my cream products, so I'm just going to spray my face with some Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. And then I'm going to use a bit of powder. I do sometimes switch up when I use powder. So sometimes I do powder when I've done with foundation and concealer, and then I'll go in with my cream based products, but sometimes I do like all of my cream products first and then set with powder. And to be totally honest, I don't really see much of a difference between either way, so I think it's just whatever works for you. Alright, a bit of powder bronzer. This is Fenty Shady Biz. This is in my project pan. I still have not hit pan on it. How I have not, I do not know. Because I use this like every single time I wear makeup. So I just do not understand how there is no pan in this. Yeah, if any of you have actually panned this or hit pan on it, can you please tell me like how long it's taken you, because I've been panning this all of last year and it's now in my project pan this year, so I don't get why I do not have any pan in it. So I think that my cheeks are pretty pink enough, or at least they are when I look at them sort of close up here. So I'm just going to do a little bit of powder highlighter, and I'm going to use the Vive one in this Dimensions face palette. This is in the shade Dawn, and I don't think you can get this anymore. I think this is now sold out. It was limited edition, but it seemed like it was limited edition for quite some time, but I think you can't get it now. And this is actually my kind of go-to, I was going to say go-to face palette, but it's my only face palette. This is like my go-to highlighter, blusher. It's just really handy to have all the shades there, and they all work so well together, and they work really nicely on my complexion as well. So a beautiful little palette. Alright, we are on to eyes. Gonna just prime with my NYX eyeshadow base. That's also my project pan, but I've still not hit pan on. I've still not used up. Again, I was panning this all of last year as well. So I think I want to keep the eyes kind of fairly simple. I don't think I want to go too over the top or too pink with the eyes. So I'm just going to start off by setting my eyeshadow primer with So Shy from the Vive palette, and then Buff in the crease, and these two shades are in my pan in every eyeshadow palette video. So in the comments below, let me know what you are doing for Valentine's Day. Are you celebrating it? Do you celebrate it? I'll be honest with you, I think most people now know that it is a marketing ploy. It's a way to get people to spend money and to force people to kind of feel like they need to be doing something on Valentine's Day. Now there are people who absolutely love it and love to celebrate it and love that it's that one day a year where you can really sort of like celebrate being with your partner. And I have celebrated it with partners in the past. With my boyfriend, we are going to get takeaway pizza. So I suppose we are in a way going to celebrate it, but we're just using it as an excuse to get a takeaway pizza, because we have found a local pizza place that does like proper authentic Italian pizza. It's stone baked, it's delicious, and it's a new find of ours. We tried it I think like last month, and ever since, every other day or so we've gone, oh, I really want that pizza was so good. So that's what we're going to do on Valentine's Day. We're going to get pizza, going to get takeaway pizza, and then I think we're probably just going to watch film, and that'll be it. But I don't like that expectation, if you're in a couple, that you should be doing something for Valentine's Day. Like I say, if you want to, absolutely go for it, but it's kind of that expectation that you should be celebrating your relationship on that one day. Whereas, you know, why can't you just celebrate it on like a random Monday in November or something? Why does it have to be February 14th? And what I also don't like is when you are single and it's Valentine's, the pity that you can sometimes get, the whole, oh, it's all right, like you'll probably celebrate it next year, or yeah, I'm not kind of keen on that. So if you are single, I hope that that isn't affecting you, and I hope nobody is kind of saying those kind of like rude, pitying remarks. And I hope you have a lovely day, regardless of what you are doing. If you're celebrating it with your girlfriends, or if you're just having a day of doing whatever it is that you enjoy doing, taking some exercise, watching a film, having a bath, or just not doing anything at all. We're not doing presents this year. Well, actually, we're not even doing cards, but I have got him a card, but it is funny and it does really relate to our relationship, and I saw it and I thought I can't pass up on that, so I have got him a card. But yeah, it's just going to be pizza for us. That's how we like it. So that's what we're going to do. And makeup looks like this. For me, I don't sort of limit just to Valentine's Day. I like wearing pink makeup in the month of February. And then in March, I like to go a little bit, I suppose more like pastel, but as an autumn, pastels don't sort of suit me. So I suppose it will be more like corals, peaches, apricots, maybe some of those like teal and kingfisher blue shades. Just something a little bit brighter to kind of like mimic the colours associated with spring, but keeping them in my palette. I think I want to add a bit of pink to this. I'm going to use my Sigma E42 brush. This is a really small, fine blending brush. So this is a really good brush if you've got hooded eyes, because you can really kind of get in the crease. And I'm going to use another shade that's in my Pan in Every Palette challenge. And this is the shade Love from the Vive Muse palette. So I don't want this to be a really pink eye makeup look, but I just want to add a little bit of pink in there. So just running some of this in that kind of socket line, that crease line. I'm going to build that up a little bit so I can have real control over how much pink I've got. And the good thing about Valentine's Day, I suppose, is that the day after is discounted chocolate day. And it also means as well that we are one day closer to Pancake Day, which is by far the best day in February. Pancakes for every meal that day. Nice, I don't think I want any more sort of pink than that. I think I need a little bit of something on the lid itself though, a little bit of shimmer. So I'm just going to use my finger and take a bit of Vermeer from the Modern Renaissance ABH palette. So just a little bit of that on my finger. I'm just going to tap that onto the lid. So I don't want a really shimmery lid, but I just want a little bit of something. And this is my focus palette for this month as well, because these shades really do sort of like fit in with the theme of pink makeup looks. Just going to take a bit more of Love, just run that back through my crease, and then just slightly in the outer corner, just to give that bit of pinkness back. I love this brush. I should use this brush more often. Forget how great it is. You can be so precise with it. Honestly, if you've got hooded eyes, get this brush. Just going to put some of Buff under my lower lash line, and some of Vermeer in the inner corner and a bit just under the brow bone. I want a bit of a soft brown line, but I don't want anything too harsh, so I'm not going to use a liquid liner or a pencil. I'm actually going to use a bit of Delicious back in that Vive Essentials palette. This is a great brown to line my lashes with, so just using really flat. This is actually a brow line brush. I did have an eye pencil one, an eyeliner one, but I think it broke. So I'm just going to like wing that up a bit, keeping it really tight and close to my lashes because I don't want it to take up too much space on my lash line. Just use my finger to blend it a bit. And I'm going to curl my lashes because it's nice to have really like open eyes, kind of like sexy siren eyes. And my lashes, although they're long, they are quite straight. They do kind of like just stick out. So just gonna curl them. And then doubling up with my mascara, which is what I usually do now. So I've got a volumizing brown mascara, just like an ordinary mascara first of all. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High Mascara. So this just provides some volume, some curl, some sort of like definition. And then I go in with a tubing mascara, and that just helps the mascara not smudge. But tubing mascaras aren't that great at giving a lot of volume. So I like this kind of doubling up approach now. And they're both in brown shades as well. So tying in with that kind of warm earthiness in this makeup look. And I probably should have used a bit more setting spray before I put my mascara on. Oh well, it'll be fine. And then this is the Maybelline one as well? Yes, Snapscara. Tubing mascara. Well, I'm pretty sure it's tubing. It doesn't seem to smudge, and it does wash off in flakes. So yeah, pretty sure this is a tubing mascara. And I'm still happy with the level of pink on my cheeks. I'm not really sure if it's showing up too much on sort of camera how pink my cheeks are, but in person they do look quite pink from that lipstick I used as a blusher. So I'm just going to finish off with a final spritz of the setting spray. So like I say, it's not a really heavily girly pink Valentine's makeup look, so I don't have a load of pink on the eyes and then a load of pink on the cheeks and lips as well, and then the whole makeup look is pink. If that's what you want to go for, absolutely go for it. But I wanted to do more of a, I suppose, more of a wearable version of a pink makeup look, and something that is very warm and suited to people like myself that doesn't have a lot of pink in my colour spectrum, so I am quite kind of limited with the pinks that I can get away with. So it's keeping the pinks quite kind of very minimal, but warm and earthy and rich. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Please also subscribe if you haven't. I really would love to have you on my channel. And I've hit over 1,000 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy. Not really sure how that has happened. So thank you if you have subscribed. That really does mean the world to me. Have a lovely rest of your day, whatever it is that you are doing today, whether you are celebrating or not. I for sure will definitely be enjoying my pizza. And I will see you very, very soon for my next video. Thanks guys. Bye.